Hey, this is Nick with Nick's Picks. Today I've got a product review here just for you of the Icon by Incase. Now, why do I love this backpack so much? That's a great question. As you'll see from some of my other reviews, I geek out pretty hard on backpacks. And there's a few different things I tend to look for. First, style. This is a backpack I want to wear all over town. We'll see. Second, comfort. Is it comfortable carrying a lot of stuff in it? Is it going to weigh me down? Can I ride it with it on a bike? How does it feel going up and down hills? And lastly, function. Will it store all my stuff? Let's find out. So, as you can see here, it's made with pretty high-grade Dyneema. It's a little hard to tell probably from the video, but it's got a real solid texture to it. And it's very rugged. It's one seamless piece all the way from the top to the bottom. And the stitching actually goes along the edges like this. It's a pretty cool design. This does two things. One, it makes it stand up. That's rare. That's rad. I don't have that much in here right now. I think I've got trusty moleskin, some almonds, and that's it. It'll stand on its own. That's pretty cool. What does the inside look like, you might ask? It's got a little bit of semi-reflective black to it, but honestly, it's a little hard to see. When you look at night, it's not the easiest thing to dig into. But that being said, there are a couple pretty cool things about it. So it's got this main pocket. It's got a zippered top. You can see that there. The zipper pocket's nice for, I don't know, I have earplugs in there, but if you want to keep cash, your passport if you're traveling, stuff like that, it's pretty good. Then there's two other pockets. I actually find these kind of annoying. Usually since this is the main pocket, you're going to want to keep something like your headphones in there. You have to be really careful and unzip it pretty far in order to get stuff down. So that's one thing I find a little bit annoying. It's got a pretty traditional style 2/3 zip laptop holder. So single zipper goes up, but it's got a nice soft interior that kind of like, actually don't know the name of this, but it's that soft fabric. It feels kind of like a fleece, like micro fleece. Something else you'll notice is that the back just has a Y shape. It's pretty nice. It actually just leaves your spine and the two like sweaty areas over your hips kind of exposed, so it doesn't get as much sweat on your back. You still do sweat a bit with this, but it's pretty soft, and I found it's fairly breathable. I've been using this down in Austin this summer, and it was over 100 on some of my walks. Two other cool things. It's got these nice little hip pockets. I dig these. I actually keep my keys in one of these, and when traveling, I'll keep my wallet or something else in the left one. They sit right over your hips. One's black, and the other one's green, which is kind of nice. So if you want to have anything that you care about seeing in here, it's pretty perfect for that. No complaints. They also have some holes in case you want to attach, leave your phone in there and put some headphones, kind of you name it, some typical things. Let's see if I can show this to you. Yeah. So if you look right here, this is where the little waterproof, well, water resistant space is, so you can have some headphones coming out if you want to take calls or whatever. It's not bad. I don't use it a ton. The zipper adjustments are pretty good. It's got a fairly nice chest strap on it, pretty elasticy, and these guys cinch down pretty well. They have these elastic holders so they keep it in place. It doesn't work great. I found whenever I put this on, my left arm tends to expand it all the way. I don't know if you just saw, but it's usually all the way open, so I then have to reattach it every time retighten it, I guess, every time I put it on, but it's not too much of a pain. Okay, so I showed you the kind of main pocket over here. Other nice thing is a nice little side pocket that's like iPad sized. This is pretty cool. So when I take my laptop and my iPad, they end up in separate pockets, and while they're touching, there's a good amount, there's probably like a 1/4 inch of padding in between the two. And the laptop pocket has extra padding at the bottom, some of that like kind of generic shock absorption stuff, so that it's not bouncing around too much. They did a good job there. I'm actually pretty impressed with how that part feels. Next comes my actual favorite pocket in the whole backpack. So instead of just like a normal, micro fleece kind of sunglass pocket, they made it big. I'll see if I can show you this. So this is the size of the sunglass pocket. I end up keeping glasses in here sometimes, but usually I end up keeping anything I want like quick access to. So I've got like my key card for work. I've got a glass cleaner. I've got headphones in there. I've got chapstick. I usually keep, maybe 2 pairs of headphones if I end up having my ear pods in there. It's really nice and it's handy. It's easy to reach into, and it kind of semi stays closed. So I end up leaving this open most of the time and have quick access to things. And I dig that. The next pocket is your kind of typical pen pocket. I actually keep my sunglasses here most of the time. There's like a little front pocket that's here. One of those like key dongles, which are okay. There's a Velcro pocket that you could put whatever in there. I have my checkbook in there right now. But this is where I end up keeping like iPhone chargers, things like that, pens, pencils. It's a decent sized pocket. It's not huge. And lastly, there's this kind of like really handy front, easy access pocket. So when I'm biking, I actually keep my bike lock in here and my lights in here. There's 2 of these kind of wider pockets that are set up for holding, whatever. I put a bike pump in there, and usually my lock stays in front of it. So that's pretty much it for pockets. The straps, I don't know if you can see how thick they are. Pretty good thickness. They're breathable. It's got this kind of like interesting neck shape, so it really like hugs around your sternum. I like it. I think they could have done without this to breathe a little bit better, but there might be a technical reason that I'm not fully understanding as to why they did that. But the other thing is it's pretty well water resistant because of the Dyneema that they used. Because of the thickness, it holds pretty well, and I think that's one of the things they upgraded from the first edition of this, along with the handle strap. So it's pretty easy to hold and lift up in place. I've had this thing completely full maybe 3 or 4 times now, and it's usually like 3/4 full on my way to work. And it's comfortable. It sits pretty well. It doesn't untuck your shirt that much, and I think having a bag that can fill with this much stuff and still stand upright is pretty impressive. If you feel it, if you ever go check these out and feel it, the bottom is actually really rigid. There's like a nice little light kind of hard plate in it that curves up. That's why it leans forward a little bit. I think that's it. As usual, if you have any questions, if there's anything you're wondering about the bag itself, you want to know about its look or feel, let me know. This has become my everyday carry bag. It replaced a couple others that I really liked. So I'll do some reviews of those just so you can see and compare side by side. But overall, it looks good. I get a lot of compliments on the bag itself. It's clean. It's got nice lines to it. But more importantly, functionality-wise, it's awesome. It handles everything really well. There's 2 major downsides though. First is there is no water bottle pockets. You can't really put one in here. So if I'm not biking, I'll keep a water bottle in this outer pocket. It holds it pretty well. I've tried a few different water bottles and they tend to work. But that's not the best solution. It centers it, right? But it's not like a Tom Bin style intentionalized water bottle pocket. Yeah, and there's not really another good place inside to put it. So all the other pockets, you can have it just sit inside in a normal space. But that's one thing. And the other is that there's not a good, easy way to keep a laptop charger handy. So I actually like the fact that some of the bags that have the double side pockets, like the Patagonia and North Face bags, I like that you can have a, Velcro-ish or elasticized side pocket that you can put your laptop charger and a water bottle to kind of balance out in. I understand why they didn't do that from a design perspective. It would have ruined these kind of side flaps. But there are a lot of times that I think that's nice. And I've tried putting some water bottles in here. They frankly just don't really stay. It's not quite a big enough pocket. So anyways, that's it for the review. All the zippers are pretty much the same. They're the pretty standard, kind of like light YYK zippers. Although they say Incase on them. I'm sure it's their custom ones. But they work well. They're not too loud, but they're definitely not silent either. And the straps tend to do a pretty good job of zipping things open and closed. Cool. Well, that's pretty much all I got today. As always, if you have any questions, please reply in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Thank you.